Hi, wrestling fans. Thanks for clicking the Dreaded Heroes report for the day. Former WWE star, remember Midian? Dennis Knight? Remember the naked whatever he was? Anyway, he was visiting friends last night at FCW event down in Tampa, Florida at the Bull. Diva Dirt reports that WWE signed a new women's wrestler. Her name is Anya, who is of Russian descent, and she was spotted with Ashley Flair Johnson, and another new female signing to, rather new male signing at FCW in Melbourne, Florida. She bills herself, by the way, I don't know if she's still going to bill herself that way, but she was called the Russian Bruiser, and she could be found on Twitter at Russian Bruiser. And speaking of Flair's daughter, she was on Twitter now. Her handle is Ash Flair Johnson. And this is awful. Things like this. But WWE star Marty Jannetti always got mistreated, I guess. And anyway, he said, or they said, he was in really bad shape lately. And Jannetti worked an independent show in Orlando on July 28th against Steve Corino, and his ankles were so bad that his feet turned out sideways, and the inside of his ankles almost touched the ground as he walked. Man, just the thought of that makes me cringe. Anyway, he needs surgery bad on both ankles, I guess, in the worst way. Jannetti then had a no-show at Chikara show the next night in Massachusetts. So if there was any reason to take pain pills or drugs, man, that would be, I would have to have a splint or a brace or something on him, I would think. But anyway, Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels, he begins his third season of McMillan River Adventures TV today. And latest information released by WWE indicates that WrestleMania 28 is now back up to the estimated 1,216,000 worldwide pay-per-views. That's up from the 1,114,000 buys the show was listed as doing like a month ago. Chris Jericho, he stated, now this is interesting, during an interview with Icon Vision, I guess, .com, that he is done with WWE on August 14th when Sins and Bones by Fozzy, his band, is released. He's got some contractual things I think he's got to do with them. He says, I came back to the WWE, and as of August the 14th, when Sins and Bones comes out, we go on the road with the Uproar tour. This time, he says, I'm done with WWE as a full-time with Fozzy until the album cycles and touring is done, he states during an interview promoting the album. And during Thursday's press conference for 2012 second quarter results, Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon, you know him, don't you? He said he hopes to make an announcement concerning the WWE network in 3 months. I hope next quarter I'll be making an announcement about our network, McMahon said. He acknowledges a delay in announcing details on the network, and he stated at the last conference call in May that he expects an announcement to be made within the next 3 months. So he announced it in 3 months. It's going to be in 3 months. Should have just said a half year. And according to WrestlingFigs.com, Maria Kanellis, she's going to be appearing at T-Bone's Infield Square, Enfield, Connecticut, September 29th. Jim Powers, stocky, big-built guy. He appeared, of course, at World Wrestling Federation from 1984 to 1994. What was he? Power and Glory and Jim Power? Nah, he went by a couple of names, I think. Anyway, he's going to be undergoing a hip replacement Thursday due to years of abuse on his body through, while working in the professional wrestling industry. Oh, hang on a second. All right, Dixie Carter, by the way, announced on Twitter Thursday that a 4-way Bound for Glory series matches is going to be taking place at the Hardcore Justice. Each match will feature different stipulations, and winner receives 20 points. Sounds like I'm watching NASCAR, you know. AJ Styles versus Daniels versus Angle versus Samoa Joe is one. Bully Ray versus Storm versus Hardy versus Robbie E is another. Rob Van Dam versus Magnus versus Anderson versus Pope D'Angelo De Niro is another. Stipulations for all three matches are going to be announced during the live Impact broadcast, 8 o'clock on Spike TV. Please make a note of it. All scheduled for Hardcore Justice is Austin Aries defending TNA World Heavyweight title against Bobby Roode in singles matches, and pay-per-view event takes place August 12th at Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida, day before my birthday, 39. WWE officials feel that Jinder Mahal has potential to be one of their top heels, which is a part of the reason why he's currently got a feud going with Ryback. I wouldn't want that. Around 600 fans came to the Bull in Tampa, Florida last night for the FCW event. It was a benefit, the Angelus. It's a group of volunteers that the services help raise money for handicapped children. The group of handicapped children, they were sitting on the left and right side of the entrance where the wrestlers came down. Big draw of the night was a special appearance by The Undertaker, who did a meet and greet before the show. And as noted before, FCW President Steve Kearns, he cut a promo before the show thanking Undertaker for coming down and mentioned that Taker and his wife are expecting a child. Or would it be a little demon? In an update, Kearns added that McCool is expecting their child any day now. Kearns added that Undertaker said he wouldn't miss the event for anything. Undertaker later suddenly appeared on stage after the Fatal 4-Way match, and the crowd gave him a standing ovation. And Taker saluted the crowd, posed on stage with handicapped children as the crowd chanted his name. The moment was described as out of character but completely classy for The Undertaker. WWE is not airing NXT on local Florida television anymore because they don't want to be available into the U.S. with the idea that it would lower the value at some point when they want to sell it to a TV station or put it on their network. They want to, keep it to where it'll be an asset rather than just giving it away on TV the way it is, or the way it was. There's been a lot of talk about the entire WWE developmental system as it has improved since Triple H took over things from John Laurinaitis. Vince McMahon kept his hands off of developmental, which is why they're attempting to turn it around and into something like a sports franchise training system, with Triple H hiring ex-professional athletes to work in talent relations. Hell of a deal. And WWE NXT tapings at Full Sail University are running more and more smoothly. Shows are being very wrestling heavy, going about 3 hours, and Triple H isn't booking any NXT events. They are now being booked with his directives, and some people think that this is how WWE TV will be done when it's up and running and he's running the whole show. Vader, by the way, can't believe this, was down at developmental working with some of the talent last week. He said, "Finished my first day at developmental with Bill DeMott and the rest of the coaches. Very impressed with the entire organization. What a great opportunity and experience. My thanks to Triple H, Bill DeMott, and WWE." I would be scared for Vader to train me, period. By the looks of DeMont's Twitter, Vader was back working with FCW talent again this week. So maybe he's got him a little bit of a job to do. That's good. Keeps him out of trouble with the cops. After reporting to WWE Developmental earlier this summer, Lance Storm's student Tennille Taylor made her in-ring debut with FCW this past Saturday night at Melbourne. She competed in a battle royal with Audrey Marie, Raquel Diaz, Paige, and Natalie, which was won by Paige, according to Diva Dirt. Reports from Raw's 1000 show that The Rock came in friendly with everyone that he knew, shook hands all around, and didn't disappear right away like he had in previous appearances when that's when people kind of criticized him, I guess. And in the recent past, there were shows where The Rock had a tight schedule, arrived late for Raw, and went into isolation to prepare for whatever he was doing that night. WWE's attendance at domestic live events in June was right around 4,501 person, down 22% from 5,771 in June of 2011. This could be blamed on the economy. Let's blame it on Brock. What do you think? Obama, not Lesnar. Anyway, the attendance for Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer are both up this year, while the women's NBA is even with last year. All right, it was noted that Vince McMahon wanted the Raw 1000 show to be completely positive and made the call not to humiliate Jim Ross this time. As you know, he likes to do that. Vince was trying to make it to soften Michael Cole's character, you know, lightly anyway, and as not to be, you know, outlandish heel. Anyway, Vince seems to have changed his view on Cole, but realizes that he can't make him a typical face announcer at this point. Too much has gone by, and you just can't do that with a guy who's been a heel for a long time. And as of this week, plans are for Shawn Michaels' Appreciation Night festivities to be held off camera at Raw in San Antonio, Texas. That's going to be Monday. And sources expect that to change and Michaels be featured on TV in an angle with Brock Lesnar. Most likely they're going to humiliate him. Not Lesnar either. WWE's doing another big camp tryout if you're an athlete. They want more than 50 athletes to be recruited in 2 days after SummerSlam. The tryouts will be placed in Southern California. Regarding WWE's recent recruiting, some of the companies have noticed, some people in the company have noticed criticism about them trying to recruit former Division I college athletes as opposed to independent wrestlers. They're actually wanting some wrestlers. Damn. Not just somebody who's good on a mic. WWE's shop website has released a new Iron Wrath t-shirt for Triple H, as well as retro t-shirts for Starrcade and the Great American Bash, plus a lot of others. Be sure and check it out. Check out, don't forget, TNA tonight. Let me know what you think. I gotta go.